I'll be with you in a moment. Make yourselves comfortable. Get yourselves a drink. I'm going to be fixing a cat's ear today. I'll be right back.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. Golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Gold birds, gold string, gold words, gold anything, golden. I follow only golden, 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 golden things. Golden, I follow only golden, golden, golden things. Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves,
Gold everything. Apparently.
golden,
How's it going, everyone?
I'll follow only golden,
Do 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 do. All right. So you're probably a bit confused why the two screens, because look what I've got. Look at this cool thing. So Nina T Fairy got me this from Vinted. It's super cute, but it's broken. Okay, it's broken. See the ear? It's broken. So I've got some putty and I've got some paint of a similar color. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it on the stream. Why? Because multitasking. It is cute, isn't it? It's sweet. Little cat kiss. What do you think? You got this. Thank you. All right, you guys keep me company. I'm not used to doing this sort of thing. It's made of, I don't know. It says 2 cats preening bronze M3A on the bottom with a barcode. I don't know if you guys want to sleuth it, but it's been sitting in the garden. Broken things. Holy shit, that's funny. Broken things. Okay. Not broken, just different. Except I do want the ear to work. Okay. It looks bronze. It actually says bronze on it, but it isn't bronze because it's just like painted resin, you know? I mean, it really does look like bronze, but it is but they're not, then it's not bronze. It's very light. It doesn't weigh anything. Very light. I mean, it does weigh something. It weighs about 1 kilo, but it's not bronze. It's not bronze. Woo woo. Right. So anyway, yeah. So I can mess around with these little angles and stuff. So I can do this. I can pop myself on top. I could do whatever. Here it is. No, you're not gonna. There you go. Right. I can do that, and then I can put that underneath this, and then I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I have the power. I can just move things about. The actual nicest camera is the one up here, and I've got that working. The other thing I've got working is I figured out what was causing all of the noise. But anyway, the solution to it isn't going to arrive for a few days. Bronze has certain smell and texture. Yeah, it does, but this isn't metal. I mean, it's got like a... I mean, it possibly does smell and feel like bronze, but it's not bronze. Bronze paint, for sure. I wonder if I can make this image, right? Just brighten it up a bit. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can just brighten it up. You are seeing it kind of in real life, but it needs to look better than real life. Okay, so what have we got? Gain? Not really. Okay, we'll do it anyway. Okay, here we go. Oh, is that just doing audio gain or something? I'm using different streaming software to what I would normally use. Honestly, nothing makes me happy. Hang on. I can apply a LUT, but that's for another day. A lot of this stuff is all to do with audio. Color keying is not going to work. That's not going to be right. Color correction, possibly. Let's see what color correction does. Oh yeah, I can. Oh yeah, I can mess with that. Right, here we go. So let's go for a tiny bit of brightness. There you go. In fact, I can actually increase the brightness by putting the light on. How about that? Okay, the lighting is now on, and on the camera that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, the mirroring, I can't help it. There's literally nothing I can do about it. In fact, if it helps, yeah, it's flipped. I can't flip it. I can't do anything about it. I'll move my keyboard out of the way so that you can't see it looking weird. And then it won't throw you. How about that? Let's upside down and back to front. Oh well, we'll do what we can. The little camera on the top here, that is me, and that is actually flipped, believe it or not. The image that you guys see and what you're used to seeing is actually flipped. But this is my right hand, and this is my left hand. So this is why, like, when I'm doing YouTube videos, I've gotten a lot better now. Because if I'm doing like, you know, like the functioning label shit, and I say like low functioning to high functioning, I go low functioning to high functioning. From left to right, it is actually back to front for me. So this is my right to my left. But then that's how it would be. That's how it would be like in the real world, if that makes sense. So this being flipped is weird because this is my right hand and this is my left hand. Oh, we are in the upside down today. Anyway. We can't have everything. We need to remind ourselves of this. Can't be perfect. We have to accept a certain chaos quotient. So yeah, that's what's going on with the ear. There you go. You guys can see that, right? It's very cute. But the ear is fucked up. And I'm going to make it better. Or worse. Or worse. I could make it worse. Now, I have rattled it and I can't hear the ear, so it's missing. Right? The ear is nowhere to be found, so it can't be glued, but it can be puttied. Question, guys, is do I use white putty or silver putty? White putty or silver putty? I know it says black and blue, it's black and blue, but this one's white, this one's silver grey. What colour putty do I use? I am going to paint it with some actual bronze paint. So, what colour putty do I use? What are the pros think? Silver, 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 silver. Everyone's saying silver. I can mix it, yeah. Silver. All right. Wow. That's pretty much... Did anybody say white? Do you feel bad? Do you feel like you're the odd one out if you said white? Did anyone say white? Nobody said white. No one says white. Oh, and Tall Hobbit Stitches. No, leave your aircon on. I have an aircon fan on right now, and hopefully you guys can't hear it. I'm sorry if you can hear it, because I have to have it running or I'm going to die. You might be asking, why are you wearing a happy hoodie today? Can I not just take it off and wear a t-shirt? The answer is yes, but it makes no damn difference. like to the heat, it makes no difference. There's nothing. It's not that hot here, but it's kind of muggy and humid. It's unpleasant. Across the water, it's really bad. Okay. Let me read the instructions. Mix equal quantities of the two sticks by rolling and kneading for at least 5 minutes. 5 minutes? I've got to roll this for 5 minutes. Until the colour is uniform and free from streaks. It becomes rock hard in 3 to 4 hours. I ain't got time for that. Wear gloves. Fine. We'll set underwater. Oh, that's cool. Sorry. We'll set underwater. It's a versatile epoxy putty which is highly adhesive to most materials. It can be sculpted and once cured can be machined, drilled, tapped, turned, filed, sawn, sandpapered and painted. It's everything then, okay. Well, how much do I need for an ear? And probably not that much, right? I'll make a section. Okay. This is probably where plastic is okay. But I'm not a fan of plastic, but I think plastic for something like this is probably sensible. Okay, so a chunk of that. Good, good. And a chunk of this. Just think of it as a fidget item. I love that, Maggie Moon. That is professional neurodivergence there. I want to eat it, by the way. I really want to eat it. It doesn't smell of anything bad. Oh my goodness, it actually smells... Right, this smells of Pritt Stick. Some of you will know what Pritt Stick is. That smells of Pritt Stick. And this one smells of nothing. I want to taste it. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'm going to squish them together now. It is actually really nice to squish. It is actually really quite nice to squish. What's it like? It's a bit tacky, so I can feel it tacky on these gloves, but you know, I'm not gonna, it's not a problem for me because the smell is like, it's not, there's no smell. It's not unpleasant because there's no smell. I mean, one of them smells a bit like Pritt Stick, one of them doesn't smell at all. So I've just got to squish it now for 5 minutes. And I guess in that time, forbidden gnocchi, yeah. It's the forbidden, the forbidden gnocchi. Exactly. It's the forbidden snack. Getting your hand work out. And I have to wear gloves as well, which is a bit of a bummer, but yeah, I don't really like sticky hands, so it kind of works in my favor right now. Mike, I cracked open a bottle of Oralade. What's that? For the cats today? Oralade? What's Oralade? Is this like a cat thing? I don't know now. The cats are too hot to eat. They're drinking Oralade today and eating biscuits. I feel sad for the kitty cats. I feel sad for the cats because they can't take their coats off. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like, what's the word? What's the word? What's the word? You guys are not going to guess it because I can't even think of what letter it starts with. Like, what would the word be if you were a cat or a dog and you could take off your coat? Nutrients drink. Oh. Have you got any ice cubes? You can put ice cubes in the water for them. But yeah, the hot temperatures are not great for the animals. Like, I guess for the lizards and stuff, like snakes and things, it's possibly okay. Maybe turn the heat lamps off and stuff. But the cat, it's not fun. It's not fun for kitty cats. Yeah, shred. Deferred. Shear. But only temporarily. They want to be able to put their coats back on again. Adaptive, maybe. Naked cats. We give frozen water bottles to the animals in the hot. They can cuddle up to them for overheat. Yeah, good plan. It has been like unusually hot and quick hot as well. Not that I've had time to get used to it. Cats chilling on the tile floor. Yeah, same Matt. Yeah, so the cats will often just lie down on the floor. The Isle of Man is quite temperate. It's rare we get like proper hot, and it's only for a short amount of time. So in England, where there'll be a heat wave for like a week, we'll get a couple of like hot days, but most of the time it's okay. Still, it's muggy and it's aircon unit day. Ashley, yay! Nice. Oh, happy Canada Day. I didn't realize. Happy Canada Day, Canadians. I hope every Canadian's hoose does not have a moose loose. Vivs operate on thermostats. Amazing. So kind of like you save money. We're in a heat wave. There's no moose loose about this hoose. About this hoose. No, that's wrong, isn't it? That sounds Scottish. How would Avril Lavigne say it? A moose loose about this house. Okay, it must be done with this at some point because this is it's quite warm now, by the way. I mean, not like super warm, but it's definitely warmed up. I do not own an aircon and I'm sad and hot. Oh. But Vinci, I've got this little aircon. It is actually not a big unit, but then again, doesn't come out that often, isn't used that often. It's not like a thing. For those of you who don't know, by the way, if you come from an aircon country, you know, Australia, the US, whatever. British houses, you know, anything in the British Isles. I would say Europe as well, but like, you know, the UK, Wales, Northern Ireland, well, Ireland, all of it, Scotland. A lot of the houses are made of stone or brick or whatever, and they're built to retain heat. And even though I live in an old house, it's made of stone and it retains a lot of heat. So aircon is really unusual. Like I don't know anyone, and have not known anyone, like who has like central air or sort of like aircon built into a house. Like that is so unusual. You know, it's as unusual as laundry chutes and stuff like that. So what you have to do here is you have to go to like B&Q or Target, I guess. Target, would that be the equivalent of B&Q? And purchase yourself a little aircon, sort of portable, heavy but small unit with a tube that you stick out the window. And you can just about cool a room down with it. It takes ages and it's very noisy. Those are your options. Could you imagine working as a doctor doing like prostate exams today? Like, even if your clinic is air conditioned, because like the building is like a modern clinic or something, you still have like lots of sweaty people coming in with like sweaty bits, and then you know what I mean? Okay. I reckon I've done enough on this now. I just, all sweat, boob sweat, back sweat, whatever. People are going to start leaving my stream now. Yep, there we go. There goes a few. They came here for the cats, god damn it, not the ball sweat. I'm sorry. Last week we talked about ass. Ass. I will try and download a transcript of my video and see how many times ass was mentioned. I need to get a transcript of the chat and see how many times ass was mentioned. Like 3,000 messages, and you know, 2,000 of them had the word ass in it. Ass is on the line. I hope it kind of was a humorous way to make a what I think is a valid point. Charlie, I may have a shower and watch this from the reflection in my wall. Whenever anyone mentions something like that, it reminds me of the Alan Partridge sketch where he's staying in a hotel and like needs one of the staff to show him how to use like a mirror or something so that he can watch TV from the bath. I'm still in my naughty mood, being single for too long. Ah. There was 31C in my bedroom last week. That is unpleasant, Ashley. That is actually not funny. Like, I need it to be about 12. But Nina and I are very different in terms of temperature. We're not temperature compatible at all. Temperature causes arguments between us. So, yeah, it's quite funny really when you think about it, but it is still. Okay, I reckon this has been needed sufficiently because I'm kind of like stressed. Today has been a very stressful day. I may talk about it at some point, but today has been a very stressful day. And I am just taking it all out on this putty right now. And to be fair, it works. Get yourself some putty or something similar and just go for it. You know what I mean? Like, really go for it. All right, let's make some cat ears. So you may be wondering, where are the cats? Where are the cats? Well, the door is shut. I can let them in. No breeze outside, it's a horrible day. Yeah, Helen. You need to move to the Isle of Man. That's what you need to do. She could be by the sea. He's got a heating pad under him and a belly cover blanket. There you go. That's how it is. You mix for 10 minutes. All right, I've done 10 minutes of mixing. I feel like it's not enough. I could just keep on going right now. I mean, it's making my wrists tired. I have surprise, surprise, for a man that lives chronically on a computer for his entire existence. I have carpal tunnel. But you can kind of use different muscle groups to squeeze putty. I'm just like, I'm so strong right now. Do you know what I mean? You just get... Right, I need to scratch my hair without putting milli put in there. Right, okay. I'm not sure what the best way to do this is in terms of like where to put this stuff. You can see where the gap is. It's quite large. And I do think that putting a big chunk of putty in there to kind of help seal it off is probably a good first step. So I'm going to take a blob. Right, what I want to do is I want to work on this here because this red piece is actually a bit of foam. So it kind of protects my desk a little bit. I'm not too precious, but you know what I mean. I'm going to just sort of wedge it in there. And just try and make a Dobby. Hang on a second. What do you think of that? It's like Shrek. Okay. I am using milliput, Alan. Yeah, and it is backwards. Sorry about that. I have no way to change that. Weirdly. Oh, thank you, Invisible Handity. I'm not sure I want to take the cup from you. Thank you so much. Okay. Just squeeze that in there. Less is more, says Red Gen. All right. I've more is more than that. I've actually made it worse. I'm just going to take what's there, okay? And I'm just going to push it in as much as I can, if that makes sense. So it kind of disappears into the ear and kind of fills the hole. Just fill that hole. This is incredibly messy. But I just want to put a bit of structural rigidity onto the ear. Get the cat's earwax out. I don't think a cat will hear anything with that ear. It's not misshapen. It's lovely. Actually, I'm not too displeased with that. That's not the worst thing in the world. It's a bit crumbly now. But like, I filled in that tiny bit here. All of this is probably going to need a bit of paint on it. Or at least a bit of sanding, I imagine. Okay, cool. I'll grab a bit more. I'm not trying to fill the inside of the model all the way or whatever. I just want a tiny bit there so that when I come and stick the ear on, when I come to sort of make an ear, you know, it's got something extra to kind of stick to. Bit of extra structural. See, I could have been a vet. I could have been a vet. Okay. Okay, I can't use too much because it's disappearing into the cat void right now. And I think the problem with that is I'm going to run out. I might have to make this the last piece there, just in case I accidentally run out. And sort of make an ear shape. Get a bit more. I'm actually not too unhappy with that. We'll look from another angle and it'll probably look awful. You missed your calling, Mike. What, working as a vet or a taxidermist? Oh, can you guys remind me to show you the bad taxidermy we've got? I can bring Maurice out. Did you guys want to see Maurice? There was one day when Nina and my son were laughing over some bad taxidermy online, and Nikki Bishop's crocheting. Oh, this is amazing! The craft stream, autistic crafting. Yes. Everett Ford, hi all, happy to be here. Happy you're here. Glad you could make it. And what do you think of the cat ear? Right, I'll show you my progress so far. You can see on the top right camera, and I'm going to move it to this camera. So all cameras, okay. Let's do this camera here. I'm going to sort of move it around a bit because I think it's not too bad actually. When some color goes on that, I think it will kind of. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll hold it against the red for you, see? There we go. I don't think that's that bad. I can feel some putty wobbling around inside the cat right now, but that's okay. It's just what's going to happen. If I do that, it might land inside the cat's head and become a bit of brain. Very useful for the ginger cats. We have a ginger cat. There's a meme. There's a meme that ginger cats share one brain cell, and it's just funny. That's cats, not humans, FYI. Right, I'll just try and scrape off some of this stuff and make it kind of just fall off. I think it's okay, you know. I think it needs a tiny bit more here. Just, I know it looks weird, but like, I could possibly give that a little light sanding. I'm sure I could find some sandpaper somewhere. There you go, kitty cat. You have an ear now. How's that? Is that good? Yeah. I'm trying to shape it with my finger. It looks weird, but it's actually kind of turned out better than I thought it would. it is definitely setting a little bit, a teeny bit. Probably because it's got like air conditioning air blowing over it, if that makes sense. So it's kind of, that probably helps it, I guess. Nina was very excited to get this for me. So I'm just... Yeah, I can use my fingers. I'll have to get the Hoover out in a minute. And just sort of vacuum the... I'm happy with that, guys. I am. The cat's a tiny bit Dobby-ish, but to be fair, the cats are Dobby-ish. Like these are Dobbies almost. I'm just trying to put an indent in here, you know, because cat ear. The hunt for Mr. Hydra. Oh, well, the hunt for Hydra's boyfriend continues. We saw him the other day. But he's feral, so he's not hanging about. But does any of you ever do something similar and then you end up in this situation where you're like, I could make that better, but then you end up making it worse? Or you feel like you can't do anything more to it in case you ruin it? Because I feel like that's like a 3 out of 10. But I feel like after that's been kind of cleaned up and painted, that it will kind of work. But also, I kind of want to change it. Do you know what I mean? I kind of, if I hold it here, you can see it better against the red that you can kind of see. I feel like I want to change it, and then what I might do is wait till the second half of the stream and then paint it. Quit while you're ahead. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. I mean, it's not like quit, all quit. Just, I don't want to mess with it anymore. I want that to be, we'll be fine once sound is stop now. Wendy the expert. We stop. Stream can continue, but we just, kitty cats can have a break. I'll do a little bit of tidying up. I'll have my tea. My cup of tea. That is, not my northeast England tea, as in dinner. How do you say dinner where you're from? If you have like an evening meal, what would you call it? Leave it like this. Right, cool. I'm going to clean up. I feel very wasteful for leaving a little bit. But I'm going to put the 2-minute break thing on, and I'm going to go get the vacuum and then clean this. Then we can continue a stream, you know, without bits of putty everywhere. Might use black as an undercoat. Well. I like them very much. I have Posca pens. Posca pens are amazing. I think the reason I like them, other brands are available, by the way, not sponsored. No one sponsors me on this channel except for you guys on Patreon. Thank you very much. And everyone who watches, obviously, all your support is welcome. I'm just trying to say, like, there's no sponsors. And, like, you know, there definitely should be. It's not that I don't get offers, by the way. Posca. They're Tosca pens. They're Tosca. And I've got some beefy ones as well. I've got some big, shiny metallic ones. Dinner. All right, you all dinner people. All right. Okay. Right. I'm going to wash my hands. What's happening, Stephanie? What's happening, Stephanie, is I have performed surgery on a cat. Ashley, I love them because they're just so accessible. The color is perfectly vibrant. They don't drip and run. Well, they do a tiny bit, but like not like other cheaper ones I've used in the past. They're just clean. They're so just they look amazing and they're so comfortable to use. And other brands are available, and I'm sure they're just as good. But it's acrylic paint. You can paint on stones as well. The Autistic AF pebbling stones were done using these Tosca pens. And you can get them in different sizes. So you can get like little fine ones, and you can get big chunky fat ones. I've got some lovely chunky fat ones, which have got like gold and stuff. They're so nice. They're just, any excuse I've got to use them, I'll use them. And my art is shit, but I just like them a lot. I can highly recommend if you can get yourself like a white one or a black one and just use it as like a marker to write your name on things, it's fine. Obviously everyone's heard of Sharpie, right? Yeah, they're like Sharpies in terms of like accessibility and use, and they don't stink. I'll show you in a minute. I'll do some drawings. Right, I'll be right back. Two minutes is what we do. Usually every half hour. Well, I mean, we never do it every half an hour. It's supposed to be every half hour, 2-minute break. Hydrolate yourself, etc. 2 minutes. See you soon.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mount Laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden. I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon.
It's Anna Ferret. Psst, psst. Anna Ferret. Psst, psst. Come say hi. Yeah. Hello, Anna Ferret. It's Anna Ferret.
Golden, I'll follow golden.
It's Anna Ferret. Ah, right. Okay. Welcome to the chat portion of the stream where we just wait for paint to dry. This paint here is called Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch. General purpose paint. Quick drying water-based paint for interior and exterior projects. Old penny bronze. Oh, pretty. Hey, that's pretty. That is very pretty. Let's have a little look at the paint. This brush is not a good brush. Sorry, you are a lovely brush, I'm just saying. That's a pretty colour. I'm not gonna lie, that is a pretty colour. It's a bit light compared to the It's very light actually compared to the color of the cats, which are very rusty bronze. They're kind of darker. Maybe a black undercoat is the way to go actually. Yeah, I'm convinced the black undercoat is the way to go. Dry brush that on the black undercoat. Yeah. Defo. I think that's possibly is the way to go. That is a lot lighter than this. you can instantly see it, right? It does, you know, this has that color in it. But yeah, in fact, I'm not, because I'm glad I didn't use the white putty and I used this sort of silvery one. That's helped, although I wish the putty was darker now. But I don't know, I just got some putty. Don't disrespect your tools autonomy. Black undercoat and dry brush the shiny. Yeah, okay. Well, the black undercoat has to come from this paint marker pen. I can't do it yet. This has to dry more. But just wondering if I've got like a dark bronze paint. More Posca pen. Posca pens are great. They're so good. So in terms of colors then, these are nice. You can get even fat ones than this. They're so nice. Lisa, what's happened? What did I miss? Feel free to say it again, it's okay. So obviously silver, white, there's a gold here and there's a black. I'll leave the black one out. This is the black one I'll use to... Oh, and it will dry really fast. It's acrylic as well. So it'll do. It'll do. Should drink my tea. Alicia, I'm just thinking about moving. Actually, yes, they are. These are the ones I have. These are all of the ones I have. But the thing is, right? The thing is, I want more. I want more. Yeah, they are very expensive paint pens. I have cheaper paint pens. Like I literally do. I've got a whole load of like super cheap ones, but some of them are dry, some of them don't work, some of them never worked, some of them leak. These ones are perfect. That's all I'm gonna say. They're so good. Not sponsored. I just $45 for 8 is not what I paid. There's maybe £20 here, so maybe $30 all in, all of that. But yeah, they're not the cheapest ones. They are quite pricey. Some people have got tons of them, and they sell them in all different sizes and all different colors as well. And they've got some wild colors, and they're beautiful. Check this out, look. This is just painted with the Posca pens. Isn't that cool? Like, you can do so much cool stuff. That looks a bit like some sort of hieroglyphics or like FA or something. But yeah, and it feels nice, and it's like, they are so cool. They are so cool. What's happening in the US right now specifically, everybody? What is the thing that has caused consternation? And by the way, I didn't click the button to run the ads, so you have to tell me. What's happened in the US? I can actually feel that setting. It's still tacky, but it's hard-ish. Big bill that cuts food aid. Oh, is that the big beautiful bill or whatever it is? Yeah, believe it or not, this is thrifted. I think it might have come from. I mean, Nina said that she got it for nothing, so I don't think it was like eBay or it can't be really, can it? But yeah, this is a big fugly bill. I don't know the details. I do know that I've lived for a reasonably long time. And I can tell you that Nina and I often joke and say, what the hell can we are both tired of living through unprecedented times. We would both like to go back to when things were a bit more boring. I was saying this to Jen recently from Neurodivergent. We were having a little chat about it. And Jen loves the sunscreen song. It begins with B. Not Bert something or other. I want to say Bert Myers, but that's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. Why is my brain saying that? Bert Lehrman. Is it Bert Lehrman? I don't know. And with the Always Wear Sunscreen song. Baz Luhrmann, thank you so much, Tudor Bell. Thank you for putting me out of my misery. I thank you. I genuinely appreciate that. Because this whole live stream would just basically stop because I just have to scratch that itch. And it's like there's a little section in there where he says, you know, you'll reminisce in the past, you know, politicians were noble and blah, 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 blah. And no one's saying that at all because, like, politicians they've always been super corrupt, etc., etc., etc. But things right now are running at the speed of intense corruption. Hello, Anna Ferret. Anna Ferret says no. Make America great for the very rich. They can fit that on the house, though. Yeah. I think the old Chinese curse made you live in interesting times. Yeah, that's how it feels. That's how it feels. For you young folks out there, I'm going to define this. If you're under 30, okay, if you're watching this and you're under 30 years old, Schäuble, you have missed cat surgery. If you're watching this and you're under 30 years old, I'm very sorry to tell you this, but in many respects, things were better when you were a baby or before you were born. I'm not saying it was at all. I mean, I grew up in Germany and during the Cold War, and you know, had all kinds of issues going on. You know, the only time I've ever been shot at, or you know, people have tried to attack me, is when I was a little kid. But what I am saying is, there's some stupid bullshit going on at the minute, and I'm sorry, and I especially for those of you in the United States, which is most of the audience of my channel. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's utterly just. It's a weird exercise in self-flagellation driven by one person. I think it feels very much like it feels like the legendary stories of the Roman emperor whose name begins with C, and it will come to me in a moment. Caligula. I think I got there before the chat did. And he commissioned things like big boats to go across a lake so he could walk across it, you know. Oh, just bizarre vanity stuff. No other reason than a drive. I only just realized Anna Ferret's initials. Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. You realized before me. Some stuff has been things are different, times move on, etc, etc, but I would say growing up now is much harder. It must be. It is much harder. I have an 18-year-old, nearly 18-year-old son. I can tell you that growing up now is harder than it was when I was growing up. So to be fair, look guys, the world was smaller when I was growing up because there was internet, but you had to be quite well off to have it. So I had access to the internet at school, but not at home. Some people had access to the internet at home, but it was very, very few. That changed over the next few years. This is back when I was a teenager. It did change over a few years, from like basically no one to, you know, we're talking about the time when the White House didn't have a website. They only just created a website around the time I was 18 or so. I remember when it came online. I remember the BBC carrying this news report where they were able to email the White House and had a reply. And it wasn't that interesting, so much faster than a letter or a telegram. So cyberbullying wasn't really a thing. And just everything, you know, social media, obviously, I mean, that took ages to get off the ground. Social media's early days were kind of fun and heady and kind of, you know, entertaining and light. Wasn't bad, really. And now it is just algorithmic, toxic cesspool of just slop. I went to uni in 1999. And it was a better time. It was a better time. Being online was one of the things I was made fun of in school in the 90s. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. There's so much optimism about the internet too that it would open up only good things for people. Yeah. 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 There was a lot of optimism about the internet. It was so exciting and new, and I'm sorry about America Online, AOL, but the culture was so fast. Does anyone remember the movie You've Got Mail? You know, everything was sort of so exciting, and the fact that sort of romances could blossom, and it was all such, there was so much intrigue and potential. Video games, the early Doom that you could play online, Quake. Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress. So many new opportunities for kind of fun and entertainment and Habbo Hotel, yeah. And then Ka-chung, Ultima Online. Even before those, there were the MUDs, the multi-user text-based dungeons. The multi-user dungeons. News groups and Usenet. All of this stuff was so exciting, and it was all happening at the same time. My dissertation, my thesis for my computer science was actually on Usenet, and involved building a multi-part Usenet reader for ostensibly pirating large binaries across multiple Usenet servers. It was a different world back then. It was a completely different world back then. Totally different world. I originally signed up for a Facebook account not long after it became sort of generally available, and it wasn't just about high schools or whatever, in order to see the wedding pictures of my sister-in-law at the time. And early Facebook wasn't even, you know, so super toxic. IRC, fantastic. I was using IRC. We used it quite heavily during and ICQ. IRC and ICQ is how our uni cohort kept in touch. I still occasionally dream of that little notification sound from ICQ. And like, yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to go with it is, the world was an intriguing and optimistic place. It was a buzz. There was a buzz around this idea that people from all over the world could kind of... It was still considered weird, by the way, to meet people from the internet, and I suppose in some respects it still kind of is. Anna Ferret, I'm going to have to move her because she's on a power button. Ferret, please. May I present the ferret? Oh, she stopped one of my cameras from working. Okay, so we may as well just do that then. If the other one is paused right now. Hello, ferret. You are very ferrety. I might have to get her a licky stick. Yeah, there was so much excitement. Corporates didn't understand the internet at all, or any sort of like network stuff. It was all new and wild, and there was a lot of opportunity as well for anyone interested in software. I mean, I pretty much avoided websites almost entirely, pretty much my whole career, really. Which I kind of regret. I wish, you know, if I went back, I'd probably spend a bit more time on like UI and stuff. But I mean, I wrote a lot of back end, and it was just fun. I mean, it was almost, I hate to say it, but almost weirdly easy in a way. So there you go, everyone. Things were kind of better. There were some horror stories, but mostly they were just that, horror stories. And loads of, you know, friendships sort of blossomed and bloomed, and it was a great opportunity for people, like-minded people, to meet. And if I'm perfectly honest with you all, the only silver lining to the cloud that we currently have, this algorithmic kind of, I hate to say it, but like, whether or not you guys subscribe is actually irrelevant. I hate to say it, but the actual truth of the matter is you guys subscribing to a channel that is actually completely meaningless, and I hate to say it. It's not meaningless because I would like the subscriber count to be bigger than Autism Speaks. I will have a party when it's bigger than Autism Speaks. But notwithstanding that little egotistical party, which I hope happens someday, it's all algorithmic now, and it means, like, I suppose it means something to sponsors or to collaborations, like people kind of see big numbers and go wow or whatever. I guess it kind of means something if you're trying to, you know, I guess, I don't know. But the silver lining is that I've made some fantastic friends on the internet, and I've also this channel has come out of nowhere, and you guys found it. That's algorithmic. that's the silver lining to the big cloud. That kind of. But yeah, you subscribe to channels. I guess you have to click the notification bell. I'm not asking any of you to click notification bells because notifications suck. I have said it in the past though, haven't I? Stim the subscribe bell, but I'm like, whatever. It's up to you. I won't judge any of you if you don't. Because it's like on YouTube there is a button you can press to view your subscriptions and what they've posted, what's new. But I never remember to press it. And I always go, oh, I wonder how that content creator's doing. Because there's some content creators I watch and then all of a sudden YouTube stops showing them to me and I forget about them. Because I'm human. And yeah. I've deliberately tried to work in my head like old style YouTube. There's a few things I think are missing now. The ability to disagree with people and not hate them or fall out with them, like Jen from Neurodivergent. We disagree on some things, and that's okay. We can still be pals. It's also possible to just not be best pals with everyone. Like some people you just won't vibe with, and that's okay. And just knowing that's okay and allowing yourself to sit with that and go, that's fine. That's okay. It's okay. It's just so important because like the internet now is just like, especially with creators, there's so much fucking drama and stuff. It's just drives me nuts. I follow some tech creators. And there's this thing at the minute going around called Stop Killing Games. And just the drama that's come out of Stop Killing Games is just unbelievable. I just want to kind of shake people, I guess. I guess that's kind of how I feel about stuff. I feel like shaking people. That's what YouTube does to me. It makes me want to shake people. But yeah, like I actively have disagreements with people. No, stop killing games. It's like game developers. If you purchase a video game of any type, game publishers can decide to stop selling it, and they'll just stop it. But the reason why that's unfair is because if you've purchased a game, you've bought one, even secondhand, right? It's yours, it belongs to you, you should be able to get value out of it, but you'll find that you often cannot use it. Once the publishers said, we're not supporting it anymore, the whole game just stops. So there's an artistic argument, there's a legal argument, and then there's obviously a developer kind of argument as well. But it's not that people are happy to have the arguments and the discussions. I suppose the conversation's almost a bit boring, but actually it's just the fact that there is a huge... Yeah, pirates are right in there, yeah. It's that there's so much drama around this, and people can't seem to see... People can only see their egos, and they can't see through it to see the other side. And that for me is fascinating, but also sad. It's sadly fascinating. I'm fascinated by it, but also it's really sad. Ebooks and Amazon and Kindle is a problem. I've got a Kindle, and yeah, Amazon have got DRM now, and they can now just sort of take your books away, and it's like, what the actual hell? So I'm not gonna rush out and buy another e-reader. I'm not gonna spend them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? My Kindle works. My Kindle is a second-hand Paperwhite, and I like it. It works. It's a bit sluggish and slow. If you're trying to like make a highlight, that's fine. But then if you're trying to type a note as to what that highlight is, it hurts. I'll be honest with you. It really hurts. So all of my notes in Kindle, they're terribly spelt. Because I'm typing on the flipping e-ink keyboard, but it takes like 5 seconds to refresh or update or whatever. It's so slow. Kobo and library books is great. You can't get library books on Kindle. Enshittification, yeah. Hi, Brittany. Sorry, the enshittification wasn't related to you, Brittany. Welcome. Brittany is a separate sentence to the enshittification conversation, which is a separate conversation that is also happening in the room. Yeah, it's you know, a bit weird. So digital copies of things used to be perfect because, you know, stuff could exist independently and often did, and now it's a lot different. Not just DRM, but also live service stuff. But then again, software as a service makes a lot more money. And Nikki, I am kind of like that, or at least I was. What drives me now is I see a book and it's about a topic I'm researching on YouTube and I want it now, like the second, this instant, and then I just buy it now. Often it's cheap, but I would much rather use something like a Kobo, but then I'm not going to go and buy a Kobo e-reader in order to then access stuff. Like, I don't want to spend, like, I don't want to like go around and spend the money. And do you know what I'm trying to say? Yes, Charlie, and in fact, you can actually get e-readers with buttons, which is nice. SharePoint, Harriet, yeah. A lot of Microsoft software is built by committee, and they have a lot of big businesses that drive what they can and cannot do, and that is your answer. That is literally the answer, and that's the truth for all of Microsoft's enterprise software. World of Books is amazing. Charlie, I wish there was more creativity in modern tech. Everything is the same. Simple, sleek touchscreen. I want funky shapes, stimmy buttons. Things for sorts of people. Yeah, it's I know what you mean. I'm just picturing like a big, like a sunflower, little, almost like a squishy, rubberized kind of colorful sunflower on my Kindle that I can spin to change the page. I would actually love that. I'm just picturing this all spinny sunflower. My Kindle's here. I probably shouldn't be fondling around in my bag right now because I've just stuffed it with stuff to tidy up. I had to do a quick hidey before the stream. I've just dropped a pair of scissors, so I'm not going to mess. But yeah, it's in there. I caught myself trying to advance a paper magazine by scrolling up. Oh, no way. Yeah, maybe, to be honest, we'll go full circle and we'll end up, as Anne-Marie just said there, yeah, a steampunk revolution. Maybe aesthetic and sensory feedback and real buttons will come back. I think these things are trends, and honestly, stuff will slowly fall out and slowly come back. Switch 2 is another example, Jansen. So, for example, you know, like the updated games for Switch 2, things like Tears of the Kingdom and whatnot, you have to pay like an extra $10 or something in order to then get the update. Is that kind of annoying? It's off-putting, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, I would play a Switch 2, but then again, my hands are quite big, and I struggle over like more than an hour on a normal Nintendo Switch, and my fingers hurt. That's my main problem with it. The cost of the Switch 2 is prohibitive. I agree with you. Way high. Way high. I mean, it's like PlayStation 5 money. Like, what's going on? The thing about digital books, though, and I am going to make a YouTube video about it. I'm really sorry, everyone. I apologize in advance. If you come to my channel expecting professional YouTube, I think you're sorely mistaken, because I tend to do things that are very anti-YouTube. Not anti-YouTube. Sorry, YouTube gods, I'm not anti you. It's just there are rules to doing a YouTube, and I'm not following all the rules. One of them is these live streams. These live streams, people unsubscribe on them. It's like people see them. Like, it gets something like a 1% click-through rate, and then like of the people that click through, like, I don't know, a decent chunk unsubscribe every single week. Kind of funny. But the issue, the thing is, digital copies of ebooks I have found personally really, really helpful. And the reason is because I use an intermediary service to pick up on my Kindle notes. Other brands are available, and I probably wouldn't choose Kindle now if I were actually buying an e-reader, but whatever. I can literally sync those with my Notion. Corporate bro Mike YouTube. Yeah. If only. I think part and parcel is because I'm too old for this shit. As in, I intend to be here on YouTube or equivalent platform if YouTube isn't here. Whatever. I'm making content on the internet, and I intend to do that for a very long time. And the only way I can do it for a very long time is by being sustainable. That, you know, all the videos of YouTubers burning out. By the way, my I can't keep going like this isn't a burnout video. If any of you watch it. If you listen to an audiobook, can you say you read it? Yes, you can. You did not read it, but you can say that you read it. That's how I think. That's how I think, Owen. You did not read it, but you did. You have read it. No, the thing is, what I like is when I'm reading and then I can highlight sections. I also like seeing what sections other people have highlighted. So I can see like what are the most common highlighted sections in any given book that I'm reading, and just get the, you know, jump straight to the bits that I was going to say the good shit, but like just jump straight to the bits that resonated with people. But specifically, I can highlight the bits that I'm interested in, and later, when I'm doing my research or reading about something similar, I can go and reference my notes in my Notion, because I use Notion as a second brain. Blah 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 blah. That's how I get a lot of value out of my reading. Whereas if it's paper based, I don't tend to remember anything I've read, but I do enjoy it more. Hard to explain. Anyway, the long and short of it. The long and short of it is, I buy a lot of books, and I've got a lot of books over here. I've got a big stack of books, and the only reason I bought them is to give away to you guys. Mike, do we have a scheduled time for this next live? What do you mean, Elisa? It's the same time every week. 7:30 p.m. my time, whatever it is for you. So every week. It's scheduled as in put it in your diary. Sorry. So what I can do is actually schedule it as a live stream in YouTube, and then you can actually then click remind me, notify me, whatever. But the problem is I've got with that is there's always a chance I won't make it. And that's not to say that I don't. If you guys knew the day I've had today, you'd be surprised that I'm here. It's been a fucker. I wasn't even sure if I'd be here. So it wasn't scheduled in advance. The other thing is the topic can change. So sometimes if I schedule a stream, I then sometimes change what I'm doing in that stream, depending on whether or not I've prepared for it, if I have notes for it, if I have the energy for it. Sometimes it's a tea and tales stream. So I tend to know. I tend to know what's happening just a couple of hours before the stream starts. And I hate to tell you this. I hate to say it like this. I do hate to say it like this. But the best way is to be one of the autistic cats on Discord, because if you're on Discord, then I or someone will tell you. So there have been a couple of questions today. Is there going to be a stream, whatever, blah blah blah. And if you ask that in Discord, you'll get an answer, like, because. So the long and short of it is, it would be a patron, and then you'll know. But just turn up every week is also another option. So those are your options. That's the best I can offer you. Refresh the page every week. Jansen, nah, cool. I hope your travels are going well. The place you're in is definitely on my list to visit at some point. It's not a million miles away from here, really, is it? But yeah, never been. Charlie, you can add the timing and times into your YouTube bio. You are 100% right, and I can definitely do it on the channel banner as well. I know the channel banner doesn't actually fit all devices, and it gets cut off a little bit. I need to play and download a template on Canva or something. Turn up yourself. Yeah, basically. Condition yourself to just turn up every week. And if you don't see anything, either you've made a mistake or sorry about that. And I know if I were to do YouTube properly and I were to announce stuff in advance and schedule the streams, I can schedule the streams like a year in advance easily, and like have them all laid out and everything, and it'll all be brilliant. And you can just, the tech exists for this. In fact, it's baked into YouTube. Problem I've got with it is I'm not a robot. I'm a real human being. It's probably more an after party thing, Maggie. I appreciate that. Some stuff doesn't go on YouTube. I don't know who's watching, so yeah, after party type Discord type shit. Yeah. The stream's a priority in my diary. Wendy, I appreciate that. And I know for quite a few of you, don't think I haven't noticed the encouragement that you give me. I'm often incredibly tired. I think probably the one thing I feel bad about, if that makes sense, if that's the right term to use. I do feel a tiny bit guilty, I guess. I don't know if it's the right word. Guilty is a bit strong. Guilty is the word used to commit to murder. No, it's like people leave such lovely messages in my YouTube comments, for example, and I just don't have the time and energy to reply to everyone. But it's just a function of many to one, kind of communication. Matt Sakazi, no, you can't. Discord is a perk of Patreon, and access is managed by Patreon. If it's interesting to you, it's available on all tiers, including the lowest one, which is $4 a month. You can try it out, or not. It's okay. I'm here every week, and I'm posting on YouTube, and I think the key is that I'm always here, and I am making a lot of content on YouTube. There's a lot of quote unquote free content on YouTube, and always will be. And I will constantly endeavor to make stuff as accessible as I possibly can. But I'm just trying to make things, yeah, I'm trying to make a go of it. Currently, this is a tough one because it's not really for a live stream, it's for a YouTube video, you know, a considered, edited, planned, scripted YouTube video. But I am now fully committed to doing YouTube. There was a TV game show that aired in Britain. It was a CGI, three-dimensional dungeon. Actually painted. It was hand-painted scenes of a dungeon that an adventurer wearing a helmet would walk around. It was called Nightmare, and he was guided by his friends, a group of teenagers, looking through a screen. Yeah, way ahead of its time. And one of the mottos, one of the overriding phrases in that game show was, "There is only going forward, there is no turning back." That's largely because of technical constraints. They could actually only go forward into pre-programmed rooms, and filming took like 3 days for each like group of kids, and so you know, it was a ball ache. Making that show was so ahead of its time. It was the, you know, and the game show, by the way, was fantastic. I won't spoil it for you, but I will say that in the first season of this show, this hugely expensive show, nothing like it has ever been seen before on television, and all of the kids, quote unquote, died. None of them survived. Well, not always. Eventually they did. They did have winners, but not many winners. And that in and of itself was quite a thing. You have a game show with kids based in this like dungeon, and like the winners win like a bit of paper to say, hey, congratulations. But actually, you know, it had live action, like it had live action cast as well as VR elements, but it was way before its time. In fact, the tech behind it was utterly fascinating. But there's a line in that show anyway, which is, you can only go forward, there's no turning back. It was part of the intro sort of spiel given to the players before they played the game. And they could only go forwards. They used the same room every single time. It was just a big green room, yeah. I think they used blue for chroma key, but yeah, it was just a room, and they could only go forward, and then have to reset the room each time. Each and every time they set the room, they have to redo it. The creators made it recently, and you could take part. It toured nerdy conventions in the UK Games Expo. Was it filled with 30 and 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds, Studeville? I bet you the average age of the player, if it were at a nerdy convention, would be about 50, as in like average age. Somewhere between 40 and 50. Never got the opportunity to do it as a kid. Spellcasting, AUT, no, it was really ahead of its time though, massively ahead of its time. In fact, for those interested, British television, sort of Nightmare kicked off. It ran for many years, many seasons. I don't know, did it get 6 seasons or something? It ran for a long time anyway. It spawned many shows like it that they tried to do it. The guy who played Lister in Red Dwarf, Craig, I don't want to say Craig David. Back, I've forgotten his name. The Scouse who played Lister in Red Dwarf. He, before he presented Robot Wars, Craig Charles, that's it, yeah. He had his own sort of VR kind of, you know, spin-off game. made by the same production crew as Nightmare, but it was shit. There were others as well. There were loads of other kind of like, VR slash, video game-esque stuff, shows that came out. Blue Peter, no. No, I wasn't, Charlie, but you are right. There were a couple of kids that had Blue Peter badges in my class and all that sort of stuff. Games Master, yeah, but Games Master was just like pretty standard. It was just Patrick Moore, doing his thing and some games. Better Than Life was a good episode. I did get to meet the Games Master, Patrick Moore. Yeah, Patrick Moore was cool. I helped with I didn't actually do any construction, but I very briefly helped with the building of a wheelchair ramp at his house. There you go, claim to fame. But yeah, it's like it sparked off this whole thing. Sorry for the weird info dump. But yeah, I'm basically on YouTube now. Well, that's it. I can't go back. That's it. I am now YouTube. My options are YouTube or YouTube. Helen, will you start the fans, please? The Crystal Maze was probably my favorite TV show. New YouTube series DIY with Mike. Yeah, he's stuck with us. Amazing. So, don't cancel me or anything. Patrick Moore, as in the astronomer, he hosted a game show. Yeah, TJ. Not only did he host a game show, he hosted a cultural. I take it you're being serious and not sarcastic. He hosted a game show called Game Master. And he played with Dominic Diamond, yeah. Oh, you TJ, you're gonna have to look this up on YouTube. It will blow your mind. Yeah, he did. Patrick Moore did write a book about his cats. I got to play in his office and meet his cats. Yeah. Yeah, no, Patrick Moore was the Games Master, yeah. Okay, so he played a how do I describe it? How do you describe Games Master, people? Oh, Games Master is filled with sex jokes. They didn't come from Patrick Moore, though. It was Dominic Diamond. Dominic Diamond just tried to get as many sex jokes as he could into TV. It was just loaded with sex jokes. It was aimed at kids and teens. It mostly went over their heads. I'm going to assume. But yeah, Patrick Moore. Yeah, basically kind of played himself. Yeah, but he would be like this all-knowing. The soundtrack to Games Master was amazing as well. TJ, this is not over. We're going to have to talk about this on the Discord. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It was a video game show around the time of Jansen last year. Timmy Mallet came to the Isle of Man at the same time as the Queen. I can't play any clips, no. But you can find them. Just hit up YouTube and write in Games Master. There's probably full episodes on YouTube. Like, you have to go watch them. I'm not even joking. It's going to be good. Right, I'm going to get the camera working and do some painting. Because that is pretty set now. Oh, on Discord I can? Yeah. Yeah, it's YouTube's like... YouTube requirements. I cannot. YouTube control a lot of what can and cannot be said on its platform. and they do it with obviously not in person. They, you know, it's very much a full episodes of Games Master on YouTube, and I bet Jansen, I bet you can watch full episodes of Nightmare as well. I did a Nightmare binge like a few years ago. I just went and watched them all. There was a girl from my class in Germany who got onto Nightmare, and I never got to actually watch what happened. Yeah, her team ended up they didn't get past something like the third room or something. It was quite funny. She walked off like an edge. Oh, in Nightmare there were tons of things where these kids they'd all be super excited, and they'd go on this like trip to go and film, and they'd be there for like 2 or 3 days. And what would happen is, like the kids dungeoneer character, so one of the 4 group, so 3 of them would be like advisors looking through a screen, and 1 would have a helmet on because obviously they couldn't see anything. The room was just a green room or a chroma key. And what would happen, obviously, is because each of the dungeon scenes were painted, they were literally hand painted. There was a guy that would paint the rooms, like the doors and everything, would paint everything. What would happen is so many of the kids would accidentally step off ledges and like fall. And then that'd be it. Like, that's the end of their game. And we'll have to go home and be sad. That's the 1980s. There's no runner-up prize. It's just like, oh, you trod somewhere where there's a, you know, and fell. Sorry. Oops. That's you done. I see some channels on YouTube able to say a lot more than others. Is it dependent on the channel? What do you mean, Charlie? Do you have examples? I think there are kind of channels that like drama and enjoy having an audience that like their angle. Like political commentators, I think, is probably a good way to put it. And there are people that do politics YouTube, but I don't mean politics as in like conversations about politics, but kind of like make it exciting. And I think about anything to do with the Daily Wire. So Jordan Peterson, the guy with the facts don't care about your feelings eyebrows, I've forgotten his name. Matt Walsh, the What Is a Woman guy, and those folks, they enjoy having really strong opinions on things. And I feel like if they were to change their mind on anything, they would just lose their entire audience overnight. And that makes me sad a little bit, because it's like, okay, cool, you have really strong opinions, but and the audience and then the advertisers and the sponsors, they kind of all come along as a big package, and I think you just kind of have to have that work. My brain is kind of fungible, and I'm quite happy to change my opinions on things when presented with new evidence that's stronger than before, or I hold probabilities. I'm quite happy to hold, how's this for black and white thinking? Ben Shapiro is the one. Yeah. And you know, I you know, the whole kind of like, oh, they get cancelled because they're going to speak at a university or whatever, and then suddenly they don't get to talk there for some reason. I can't remember what it is. So you get that as well. My view on those creators is they are very entertaining and their products are really well put together, but I feel like they can't say anything. Not that they believe it, by the way. I don't think they're in any danger. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlie. But yeah, I don't think they're in any danger of changing their minds on anything, but I feel like if they did, They have to say the thing. So from my perspective, I guess this is where the old fart in me comes out, because I do care, obviously, you know, I don't want to hurt people, you know, offend people, like just for the sake of it or whatever. But I do occasionally get people tell me, oh, I don't like where your channel's going, or, you know, I don't like the direction you're going in or whatever like that, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. And it's like, okay. It's like, I'm not trying to be like nasty to people or anything like that, but sometimes people will be offended by what I'm saying. Don't forget, there are sort of clear lines, I guess, like Autism Speaks, for example. And I think one of you challenged me on how would I change my mind about Autism Speaks. How would I change my mind about Autism Speaks? And the answer is, yeah, I would, but these are my criteria. I'd kind of expect them to, thank you so much. I'd kind of expect them to, you know, change their governance, change this, that and the other. Like, I'd expect them to do this. But don't forget, Autism Speaks is a, you know, $50 million a year US charity. I'm about to release a video on ABA therapy. When I say about to release, I haven't even filmed it yet. Don't get excited. When I release my video on ABA therapy, there will be a lot of people out there that will hate me as a result of it. Either it's too strong about ABA, or it's not strong enough, or I did say this, or I didn't say that. I am genuinely a bit worried about that. As in, like, I could really do without the drama. I'm not doing it for clicks. Like, I literally am not doing it for clicks. I've calculated that I would need at least 4 million views in order to actually like have the damn thing pay, you know, like just pay the expenses list for the video in terms of AdSense. Like, so it's ABA has made me poorer, but I've learned a lot because I feel like it's an area of my knowledge that's a big knowledge gap, and I'm trying to fill it in. But I know people are going to be unhappy about it. No one is going to be happy with my ABA video. Okay. So there's that. Am I trying to piss people off? Am I trying to upset people? No, I am not. I am not trying to upset people. I'm not trying to make enemies and things. You know, but it's just the way it is. The autism level stuff. I've been saying for you know, over a year, that autism levels, at least the way people refer to autism level numbers and stuff, and autism level, like when content creators write, it's content creators I'm talking about here. It's none of you, all right? And unless you're a content creator and you've done this, then I am talking about you. But otherwise, I'm not talking about you. Don't worry. You know, people will post up videos and go, oh, I'm autism level 1, and then as an example, and then this person is autism level 2, and so this is autism level 3. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Willis? That's like saying I'm super high masking autism. It doesn't tell you anything. It's not only that, but it's kind of completely misleading, because the level number relates specifically to support needs, and it's one fucking syllable, everybody. It's one fucking syllable. So like, look, listen, guys, I got a lot of paperwork in my diagnostic report, mostly because I asked for everything and they gave me everything. But like, like one syllable. Your support needs could be reduced down to one fucking syllable. Literally just the letter and the number 1. 2 level 1s are not the same any more than 2 level 3 people are the same. There's no level 3 people anyway. Like, well, there's people with substantial support needs, of course. We can talk about substantial support needs. We can talk about people with less support needs than the people with the more support needs. Yes, totally. Oh, Karen, head out. Don't want to trap you. But the support needs, right, are different. We all have different support needs, all of us. later on this evening, there's a reasonable chance I'm going to like run a bath and then sit in it for an hour, right? Some of you can't do that because of the texture of the water and the skin, right? There's a reasonable chance that tomorrow I'm going to be, when I say non-speaking, I don't mean it in a non-speaking way. I mean, I'm not going to say anything tomorrow. I'm not a word is going to come out of my fucking mouth. I'm going to be like a silent monk for 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. We're all different. We're all different. I'm spending the remains of my energy now. We're all like... So does that mean that somebody else who is level 1 support needs... By the way, I don't have a number in any of my diagnostic paperwork because I was assessed under ICD 11. Sorry I've missed a lot of the chat because I can't read the chat and rant at the same time. So like, do you know what I'm trying to say, everybody? So when we're talking about like people getting cancelled or whatever, you know, like, can I be cancelled over my opinions? I mean, sort of, yeah. The Autism Mom Brigade is the antithesis of my channel. So if you want an alternative view about autism, you can read the Autism Parenting Facebook groups. That will give you a different view. There are Reddit groups where people talk about not having only the highest support needs certified autists on here. You can do that too. That's a thing. You can do that. Like you can, you know, like I'm not saying like my channel is like the be all and end all of autism content, but if I'm wrong about something, I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy. And my interpretation of research, I try to make it as balanced as possible, but obviously it's not entirely. There you go. So like, you know, yeah, I could get cancelled, but like, it's like, okay, but in what respect? It's like, well, whatever, I don't know. Whatever. And even like politics, I don't even like talk about politics really. There has to be supremacy thing too. Oh, Harriet, sorry, I apologize for everybody's messages. If you want me to see something, maybe you can write it again. I'm not content farming, I promise. Like, what re-engagement farming? I just can't read and rant at the same time. The Aspie supremacy thing is like from within. It's like, holy shit, guys. So there's quite a lot of Aspie supremacy types that follow my channel and stuff, and it's like, look, I know why you feel the way you do. I've been there for most of my life actually, and I've also been tempted to say, I need to turn my fan off. Hang on. I've also been tempted to say, oh, okay, I'm evidently smart, therefore I'm smarter than you, therefore, you know, you're all stupid, you don't understand, you know, even people bullying me, you must be really thick because blah, 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 blah. I get it. And you know, the whole kind of like next level of human evolution, folks, no, come on. I think there probably is an evolutionary driver for various neurodiversities, but Aspie supremacy, no, come on. Autism / Asperger's is a disability. Now, there is nuance here to have this in this conversation. I'm not sitting on the fence. This is a nuanced conversation, and I promise I'm not I'm not making this more complicated than it is, or that it even maybe needs to be, or perhaps that even that it will become in the future. It's just a somewhat complicated conversation to have. Okay. Sorry, I'm laughing. Right, let me just get my camera back on. Where is it? Oh, that's right. I have to move it here. Right, things might look weird for a moment. Okay, hang on. Cool. Right. Cool. Cool. There we go. I'll just do that, and I'll try and work over here. Let's go for some black. This is nice and hard now. It's been drying in front of the air conditioner, so that's good. I'll have a little read of the chat now. By the way, it feels like we're doing some Mrs. Brittany. Yeah, well, both ways as well. To be honest, diversity is a strength. Yeah, there's an evolutionary drive for diversity amongst humans. There is. Very clear. Diversity is strength, not weakness. Agree. You're always good. Equal. Thanks, Elisa. Hope that doesn't change. I hope that view doesn't change. Mike, were you going to stand first? Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, it probably does need sanding. I might, if I'm really unhappy with this, I'm probably going to return to it and sand off all the paint and do it again. Okay, so this particular pen hasn't been used before. So these are great. You have to give them a little bit of a shake, okay, and then push them out. But they are great. The paint will start to flow shortly. The spice will flow, and it's great. I have big time issues with anyone who's autism, especially using it to build together the autism community. They feel beneath them. Yeah, it happens quite a bit actually, Brittany. It's quite a common. It's quite a common thing. I don't. Yeah, I just. Thank you, Elisa. Alyssa Thomas. Thank you. I know I've been saying how good these pens are, and this one's like not working yet, but it will, and it's good. Oh, don't bang them to get them started. No, this ending, this stuff, it needs to not be damaged, because otherwise you'll end up with it just the paint is probably a bit set, a bit old. Leave the tip on the paper and pop it down. There we go. Failing this, I can use the other one. I haven't used these big ones yet. I don't think. I think I might have used the white one as a base for. Oh, that's working, Anne-Marie. Yeah, they sort of dry up a bit, but I've never had a problem with getting them to work again. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, see what I mean? Like, just like the lines are just perfect. They're just like, that's a black line. They almost look like CGI. For those who have just recently joined, Nina got me these lovely kissing cats, but the problem is this one was missing an ear, so I made it an ear. Okay, I'm just going to put a bit of black on. There's like an undercoat. It's paint, believe it or not. This is an acrylic paint. And then afterwards, I'm going to put bronze on it. This is just like a base coat. And yes, I probably should have sanded this, but what the hell? If I don't like it, I'll sand it later. I'm just trying to make it not so garish, and I'm glad I didn't use the white one now. But in hindsight, I should probably have gone and gotten a nice coloured, a darker coloured putty. which can sit underwater, which is quite incredible. Did not realize that either. Looking better already. Looking better already. I think the only thing with the Posca pens, right, is you can't like you can't blend them in. Okay, so they're like a solid color. Does that make sense? It's the closest thing I can think of to kind of painting in like MS Paint. Abby's mum Christine from Love on the Spectrum. Yeah. I find Abby's mum Christine hard to listen to, mostly because she talks over her daughter. She's a lot better now, by the way. So I've noticed in her interviews on podcasts with Abby, she does shut the fuck up a lot more and let Abby speak. But Abby is very much infantilized, and I would like to talk about infantilization more because it's definitely a thing. I don't. What was I going to say now? I had a thought and it's gone. If any of you find it, can you please send it back? Right. So the actual paint coming out of this pan is, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a perfect, it's perfect. It's almost too perfect. It's just like it's like a void. It's a bit shiny because it's wet, but it dries really fast. I'm trying to like variegate. Don't know if that's the right word. I'm trying not to. I'm not trying not to draw a line. Basically, I'm trying to make sure so it's kind of got a bit of variation to it and doesn't look like, you know, a solid line. I think that's the thing I like a lot about these paint pens is they are so neat. And the paint is really good. I'm sure the chat is full of tips right now, but I can't read the chat and this. But as it dries, it does kind of lighten a tiny bit, but not really. It's hard to explain. Should have taken before and after pictures, but I guess I can get those from the stream. Oh, Christine, yeah. So while that dries, I'll have a little bitch. Infantilization is probably the biggest thing that winds me up. But that's almost an emotional thing. I just don't like it. But obviously, Abby Romeo is fine with it. But she's an adult. And I think it's a bit gross to use this as an example, sort of publicly. And I don't mean to make a gross example. I don't mean to be rude or sexual or whatever. But, you know, Abby is an adult. She can make adult decisions. If she wants to get married, for example, if she wants to have sex, if she wants to have a child, if she wants to have a family, she wants to go on holiday without a mother in tow, she should be able to do these things. And me saying this feels weird. I understand that. I understand that these words coming out of my mouth sounds really, really bizarre. But you have to contrast it with how Christine is with her daughter, which is like, okay, the way you're talking about her and answering for her is like incredibly inappropriate. And if the words that I've just said sound inappropriate and weird, which they do a bit to me, to be fair, but if they sound more inappropriate and weird than what Christina says about Abby, particularly in the interviews where her daughter is sitting right next to her, the worst one is Middle Ground by Jubilee from about 2 years ago, then you might want to check yourself a little bit there. And the difficulty is that Abby will, unfortunately, and she may not realize this, in fact, it's likely she doesn't realize this, but Abby will have internalized an awful lot of that messaging that comes from her mother. And it just makes me shudder. It's just so I've spoken previously about transactional analysis, where we have the parent ego state, the adult ego state, and the child ego state. And the way it works with Christine is that even when Abby talks in the adult ego state, which is actually most of the time, by the way, like Abby will occasionally like make funny jokes and stuff, and you'll see her mother doesn't really laugh and doesn't really play along. Her mother is locked into this permanent controlling parent ego state all the time. So parent, adult, child, parent, adult, child. Oh, you can't see it because it's back to front. Nuts. Well, controlling parent to Abby's child is kind of how things go all the time. Even when Abby is being adult to adult and she's actually answering something in an adult way. All the time. There you go. On the little screen in the top right. So Abby will be answering. She'll get asked a question by an interviewer on an adult to adult. And then what happens is Abby's fucking mother immediately comes along as controlling parent and starts talking about what Abby was like as a child. I'll give you a good example of this. She was on an interview with her boyfriend. I'm sorry, Abby's boyfriend's name escapes me, just for now. It's my problem. It's not that he's forgettable or whatever. It's just my brain. And Abby is being asked a question. David, thank you, Leslie. Abby's being asked a question about aphantasia almost and synesthesia. And Abby goes to respond and talks about David's synesthesia. And, you know, Christine immediately sort of jumps in and goes, yes, when you were a child, when you were younger, you used to do this, you used to, and it's like, fuck off. Abby gets asked a question, an interesting question by a neurotypical, holistic, podcast host that goes, well, tell me about, you mentioned something about, I forget what she said, but it was something along, seeing, hearing, numbers, flavors, tastes, colors, textures, whatever. And David has synesthesia, interesting synesthesia experiences, and Abby, who can talk for David on an equal as a peer. You just shut the fuck up and let you. But no, but Christine has to just reframe it and go immediately. No, do you remember when you were a baby? Do you remember you used to do this thing? You used to say your brain when you were a baby. Shut the fuck up. So, yes. So that's how things are. I'll take care, Sherry Claire. Hey, Snail Kitty. Oh, love on the spectrum adjacent. I'm not sure who brought it up. And Christine, I don't think was on Love on the Spectrum, thank God. Was she actually on Love on the Spectrum? Was she actually on one of the earlier series? I don't really get infantilized anymore since being out and being on YouTube. It's a different thing now. I haven't watched the latest season of Love on the Spectrum. Tell a lie, I've watched 2 episodes. Maybe she and Tanner will rip up. So what's happening with Tanner, guys? I saw Tanner with I saw Meg posted a video about Tanner. I haven't watched it. I saw Tanner and Jack Black, and honestly, it's one of the happiest, most joyful things I think I've seen in a long time. I saw Tanner was on Kelly Clarkson's. Kelly Clarkson has a talk show, a bit like Ellen's used to be. I don't know. I don't watch it. Help me out. And we're waiting for the ink to dry, by the way, the paint to dry, and then I'm going to put more paint on. People say he has Williams syndrome. I don't know anything about that. Is that because of his demeanor? He's super happy and stuff. Or he's presenting super childlike. I loved his interaction with Jack Black. Just the two of them. They were just like, okay, I need to look into it more. I don't know a lot about it. But like his interaction with Jack Black was playful child to playful child. And it was just fucking amazing. And that's, you know, that feels so honest to me. Integral. Yeah, Meg was talking about the Williams syndrome stuff. Alright, cool. Meg's main point was he hasn't said he has Williams syndrome. Oh, right. Oh, well then. Tanner spoke to someone and they said he didn't have to be happy all the time. What the fuck? I quite like Tanner's vibe. I don't infantilize them, any of the cast. I've not seen a huge amount of Tanner online. I need to watch the thing. I saw one of the cast. Thank you. One of the cast went on a date, speed dating, and there was I love this bit. There was he was sitting across from this this person that said that she doesn't like nature, she prefers the city, and he just literally put like an X in the no or tick the no box or something right in front of her, which is kind of harsh, but I mean I feel the same way. I would just remember the no and then wait until she'd gone, and then I would have ticked no. Connor, that's it. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yeah, Connor, that was fucking amazing television. I've seen that. I saw that little sequence, but I kind of feel like I need to watch. I feel like I'm missing out here. You know, maybe I need to watch Love on the Spectrum, like, you know, but I can't enjoy it because I don't enjoy Love on the Spectrum. I am not a Love on the Spectrum fan. I think it's exploitative. The other thing I can't watch it for is that I feel like watching it is work. If you guys want to watch it with me, I would like that. I mean, I would be happy to do that. I'd happily do a watch party that just says there and watch it together. Because there's something about watching it that makes me go, oh, do I need to make a video about this? And I know other content creators have. I know Meg has. I haven't watched any of her videos, or I haven't even spoken about it with her. I've got nothing going on vis-a-vis Love on the Spectrum, because I don't like the show, but I like the people on it. Charlie, yeah, totally. Yeah, I've literally none of the cast make me feel weird or the heebie-jeebies or whatever. And in terms of representation, it's neither here nor there. They represent themselves. I fucking hate the editing. I hate the music. I hate the narration. I hate the fact they weren't paid. You know, there's so much about it I don't like. There's so much about it that is wrong. There's so much about it that's wrong. Can I tell you how fucking weird it is about not being paid? So, if you work in the industry, okay, and they're a cast, they're working in the industry, there are actually some very, very strict rules. There are some very, very strict rules about how cast members and actors should be treated, and minimum rates for payment, maximum hours for working time, and so on and so forth. And these rules are really, really strict. And I didn't realize how strict they were until I was vaguely involved in the production of a film, a short film trailer. And I got to meet some actors, and I got to talk to them about all of these various rules and things, and how much, well, I don't mean to say like how much they got paid, though but you know, like what are the requirements? You know, when can they work? What time are they working? Could they shift their times a tiny bit because sea conditions, blah blah blah? And the answer is no, they couldn't, because they're under strict requirements that aren't even their contractual requirements. This is literally just like how their industry works. And the fact of the matter is it's absolutely fucking insane that the cast of Love on the Spectrum were not being paid, because what rules did they have to jump through in order to classify them as something other than what they were, which is the cast? There's someone at Netflix going, right, we have to work really hard to ensure that these people are not considered cast members. They are shit, because we've got them under a contract. So what do we they are suppliers to the show. They are incidental background plants. Yeah. Batshit. You know, for an organization that can afford to pay them. Like, we don't need to be around the bush. They are payable. Specimens. Regen, yeah. Volunteers. Well, everyone, they have to be volunteers. They have to volunteer. They're paid. They have to be paid. I heard they're considered to be documentary subjects. Yes. No, they're not. They are contestants versus cast rules. They're not actors. They're not covered by a union, would be my guess. That's true, B. And why not? It's stinkingly exploitative. The show would not exist without them. Help, what do they call it when you work for free to get better known? It's called the casting couch, Nikki Bishop. Don't look that up. It's exploitation. Could I have a tiny pot of water to dip this paintbrush in? Yeah, exposure is the wrong term. Let me tell you how exposure will work. Exposure happens when somebody use a piece of foam, not a brush. Okay. I need to find a piece of foam. I'm being told to use a piece of foam instead of a brush. Do you know if we have any foam? can think. We might. There almost certainly is foam. Like exists. Makeup foam will work. It will, Anne-Marie, but then I'll have to deal with the tea fairy when she finds out there's a chunk missing. Use the mic cover. No chance. I was looking up how to replace it because this one's got some bobbles on it from Anna Ferret. And do cats kiss? Oh, they hella do, yeah. Okay, look, very quickly, I can answer the question, okay? So when an old toothbrush can be done, I can do a toothbrush head. Let me corner of a yoga mat, I can do that too. Don't know if I want to. I could do. We've got washing up brushes, no sponge. Oh, actually, hang on a second. I think I do have a bit of sponge. Might have some sponge. I think I know I can find some sponge. Right. Here's the thing. If the cast members were paid, okay, like actors, they were cast, they were working on the show, and then they went and did the show, they would still get the same exposure, would they not? Is the exposure not incidental to the fact that they're not being paid? They should absolutely be paid. 100%. Right, I will be right back. Give me, it won't be a 2-minute break, so, well, I mean, you know, I'm going to go and get a sponge. Give me a minute.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mount Laurel high fives, miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing.
Okay, I got a sponge. What do I do with my sponge? My Hydra-shaped sponge. Hydra tail brush. Oh, wow. This is Hydra. Hydrate her in paint. If you haven't seen the Hydrate song, you need to dip and flick. And she bless it. Okay. I have some sponge. I have some sponge, okay? Little piece of sponge for the... She's really going for that scratching post, wow. Hey, Hydra baby. How's it going? Okay. So, as we were saying, okay, I will sponge it. Hope for the best. We'll put this here, like a little drip guard. Hydra is like super floofy right now. Dip it in bronze, dab on paper so it's not squidgy, move across ear with light pressure. Done. Appreciate the very clear instructions. Do you know what? On the black, it looks really, really good, but I've still got light bits showing through. But on the black, it actually looks really good. But then there's like a stripe where it's kind of light. This penny bronze is too light. It's on the black, wherever there's black underneath. Do you know what I might do? I might put black on more, because that looks kind of good. Only where the black has been underneath. I'll just do more of the cat even. Just spread it out more. Yeah, I'll spread it out more. That's actually a lot better. I might come back and do this bit here darker. Cover the residue of black. Yeah, I think so. Because black with this on it, like that, actually looks quite good. I'm quite pleased with that. It's just that there's like the bit where it was silver underneath is not quite so good. But do you know what? I mean, that is kind of like a pretty good repair on the whole. Oops. Like, that's the ear that was done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that ear didn't exist before, and it does now. That's pretty good. I just feel like it needs a bit more dark on it. You know where I'm going with this? I don't know. It does look pretty good. It's not perfect though, and you can tell. But it's going to live outside, so it's not. I'm happy with that. I just wish the putty wasn't silver. If the putty was like a brown or something, it would be perfect. Like, you would never know. If the putty was brown underneath, it would be perfect. It would be actually perfect. But there's some residue, which makes it a bit light in some places. But there you go. This is what we have. If you look on the this camera, you can't really see, can you? Not this one. Ugh, look at my hand up close. It looks old. That, guys, that is as close as you're ever getting. Yeah, so this camera, the one on the thingy, I think that's pretty good. That is not bad. I'm going to quickly show the tea fairy. I'll be right back. It's not going outside, it's going to sit on my shelf. Okay. So. For now. And not a single bandage required. That's funny. That is funny. Right, hang on. Let me just Give my brush a clean. I think the brush might be a goner. Just tidy a bit, because I know that water, it's just going to make a mess if I allow myself to make sure I put the lid back on. Okay. I think I'm good now. Right, I'll just make this bigger. Cool. Yeah. So about the tripod, I'll move that out of the way. I still haven't put the telescope away. It's still sitting behind me. I need to tidy up. The sponge on the paper looks like a weird bird. Do people unsubscribe during lives because of Mike's content? Oh no, it's definitely not the conversations. It's definitely the content. I think people don't even come in and unsubscribe. I think what people do is they just see a live stream and it arrives and they go, that's not the sort of thing I want, and then they unsub. I don't think it will show me now. Yeah, no, it won't show me now, but after I've posted it. Breaking the cycle of ass, lost 2 subscribers. Weirdly, it gained 2 back, so it's actually neutral. I'm about to drop video 100, -2. Are you new or don't be shy? -2. It's not too bad. Otherman TT1. That's neutral, which is weird. Then again, it wasn't on for long. -1 on games people play. These are the net numbers, by the way. Rock pooling. Neutral. That's unusual. Cozy stream. Tabby Cat Tuesday, -1. It's getting a lot better. Could have a little bet as to what this one will be. -2 on the Jen and Quinn one. Isabella, I made over 100 videos, but I hide many of them because of shame. Yeah, Isabella, I've deleted entire channels before, so I wouldn't worry too much. You're right. Part of the joy in video creation is a bit like letter writing and then not sending a letter. Good riddance to anyone who unsubs on Tabby Cat Tuesday. Do you know what? There's a certain vibe there, isn't there? Can of Tea, I didn't even realise there were live streams on the channel till I almost ran out of other videos. Oh, bless you. YouTube doesn't show them to everyone. Only if you're cool. Hang on. Which you're obviously cool. Please turn around. This, everybody, is Tosca. This is Nina's familiar. Hey, Tosca. Tosca dog. Tosca and Anna and Dottie and Gwyn and Melina and Salem and Appa and Maurice are all going to be 1 in a week, aren't you? Please don't touch me with your poo paws. Yeah, no, I thought it might have been Ferret, so, you know, you're not the only one there. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is my happy hoodie. My cat vomiting a rainbow. Audio seems quiet. Could be me. It could just be me being quiet. Oh, Harriet, how is Ziggy radioactive kitty cat? Not radioactive anymore. Can I ask what the bedtime situation is with all the cats? Yeah, you can, Listifer. The audio level overall is really low. Yeah, okay. Oh, yes, it is. You're right. So I've just increased it by 3 decibels because for some reason it was -3 decibels. Excuse me, please. 1 second. part of the problem with glasses is occasionally, especially if you like fuss the cats, you'll end up with a piece of fur, and it will be a problem. No longer radioactive. Oh, right. Yeah, bedtime situation with cats is really, really interesting. The cats have got their own ideas about what happens and when. And I'm actually currently in the process of filming a video. I might put some behind the scenes on Patreon. In fact, I probably will, if I remember. I'm really bad at remembering things. I've got a to-do list from last week that I haven't done yet. This is last week's to-do list. This is the triangle of ass. And this is my to-do. See? Post poll for content on Patreon. Post giveaway. Neither of these two things have happened. I did the first one on the task list. Edit the first, edit live, cut first 14 minutes. I did that one. That's good, right? That's two things from the, one thing from the three things. I'm really sorry. I'm just, yeah, massively distracted at the minute. So where am I going with this? Tosca, yeah. So I actually have some film on the way. You guys, I just like, I need some behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, because there is a lot going on behind the scenes. There's some funny stuff. Tosca has a certain attitude to bedtime, and she follows Nina. Tosca is, and I shit you not, Tosca has become Nina's familiar. And Tosca sounds very much like Posca, which is why I super like the Posca pens, because they are basically Tosca pens. She literally bothers Nina to go to bed and starts about now. And she will start staring at Nina and pestering her to go to bed. And I've started filming the sequence. So the actual final sequence that you will see at some point on YouTube is going to be probably comprised of like 4 or 5 days all cut together. I'm not going to pretend it was like one shot, because I don't happen to have Netflix film crew here filming for me, so I have to kind of like set the camera up and shit. But basically she has a very strict routine, does Tosca, and it's hilarious. She will literally cajole. Quite a few of the cats will cajole bedtime stuff, but Tosca particularly has got a very specific routine, and Tosca has indeed chosen Nina and become a familiar in the same way that Saber is for me. And it's weird when you see it. Trust me, when I show you the film, you'll be like, "That's weird," but yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. So I'm Tosca's second best human. It's like if I'm not around, Saber will choose Nina. It takes Saber maybe 2 days, and then he'll switch over to Nina. But for 2 days, he'll be a bit lost. As will I. I mean, you know, I do miss them. Yeah, Daisy, go to bed every night. Bang on. Yep. Ruby has a routine and herds us around the house, but it's time to go to bed. Yeah. Yeah, Tosca actually comes and gets Nina and herds her. And I shit you not. So at first we thought, oh, this is kind of cute. Well, this is kind of sweet. This is kind of a bit weird. And slowly but surely, it's now reliable. I can literally go, like right now, if I wasn't doing the stream, I could literally get a camera and set it up. I could put it on the stairs. I could put it in the bathroom. I could put it around. You can literally see. I could even possibly, even if it doesn't bother us too much, put a camera on the neck, and you will literally see this entire little sequence play out in this cat. It's so weird. Like all the cats are weird, but like. literally doing it right now. She's literally doing it right now. Right now, as we speak. Is she actually waiting? Oh. Do you guys want to see something really, really weird? Ollie. This is either going to go really, really well or really, really bad. Other brands are available. This is a reconditioned one from the eBay store. It's not really the point. I discovered that about a week ago. I posted a video on the Discord. She's very fluffy. In fact, her coat shed's like nothing I've ever seen. Like, she gets brushed, guys. She just sheds all the time. She's completely deaf. Yeah. Yeah, she can't hear it. Yeah, all of the other cats, I'll tell you this. All of the other cats hate it. If you vacuum, the cats hate it. Like we've got a robot vacuum cleaner. The cats don't care about that. They'll ride it. They're quite happy. They'll just put up with it, whatever. But that thing, that vacuum, the cats hate it. I remember the videos. I knew it was coming. Didn't give spoilers though. Thanks, Charlie. The other thing is, this is live, so I'm not sure how she was going to react. You could make Mew plushies with a floof. You could make so many things with a floof. I am covered in polyfloof just from that one, just from cuddling her once. I kid you not, guys. I have never seen an animal like her. Huskies included. Never in my life. She is responsible for so much fluff and dust and fluff and... Tim, did you see the vacuuming cats? She can't hear it though, right? Yeah, she can't hear it. It's the Hoover Harvey. Yeah, your dog, he loved it too. Yeah, it's her stick to everything except for the cat. That's a good point, actually. I have a friend who collects the cat's hair and felts it. Amazing. I've actually read a book on felting with cat hair. Polly's castle is made of Tosca roof. What do you think of that? It's just headcanon. Yeah. Yeah, the channel needs a lore page. LORE. There's quite a lot of lore before we even get into headcanon. There's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of lore. But yeah, Polly is just covered in floof, and some fur can be spun. Some is too slick to spin well and won't hold together. I reckon this could be spun. I reckon. Just wants to share herself with the world. I could literally brush off near enough an entire Polly just from brushing Polly. Afghan dogs are beautiful. If you want to collect a bunch and send it to me, I'll try and spin it. Okay, that sounds like a plan. as long as customs will it's true, it's on the Discord. As long as customs allows it and doesn't treat it as some sort of bio weapon. Because honestly, it just explodes everywhere. I literally, it's stuck to me, and the only way to get it off, like your clothes and stuff, is to wash and tumble dry. It's just something else. In fact, the beds that Polly uses are just something else. We've shipped fibers across the pond before. Oh, I was thinking the actual cat. I was thinking Polly. Just here's a Polly. I wasn't sure how vacuuming a Polly live would go down. I'm glad it was fine. Right, folks. What did we do on the stream? Sorry, my brain is elsewhere right now. I'm still not done on the whole love on the spectrum thing. I just like, I still have thoughts. I don't know if the internet needs to hear them or not. I don't know if anyone cares enough to listen to me talk about love on the spectrum, and I haven't. I haven't even watched season 3. I've like I say, I've started it, and some of it is entertaining, and you know, I already know that the cast were not paid, and I find it exploitative, and I hate the editing. I think the editing is awful. You know, it's a bizarre kind of titillation. And when I have seen clips on social media, and I do have social media, it's just my autistic AF or after 40 social media accounts, and you know, I do occasionally see love on the spectrum stuff on them. Obviously, I see tons of autism stuff on them if I look, and I just hate the comments. I hate the, you know, how adorable is this, that, and the other. Lots of cute, blah, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. You know, you don't tend to see comments talking about how good looking and attractive and, dare I say, you know, the sex appeal of people on the shows, the sort of stuff that you would ordinarily see. And a lot of the reason for that is down to how things are framed. A lot of it's framed as like, you know, it's got a kind of like a 40-year-old virgin vibe to it, but it's not even about adults, it's about children. So everyone is kind of like cast in the role of innocent child, and it you know, it kind of gets to me a bit. I don't like that. And I appreciate that some folks on the show might be childlike in many respects. Okay, I you know, possibly a man on the internet. I went out today wearing this hoodie. This is the outfit I wore outside. And I appreciate that some people would think, okay, that's kind of childlike, Mike wearing a cat rainbow top. Okay. So what? But, you know, I'm not being accompanied by ukulele, jingly music, and a soundtrack of look at this child, look at the childish things he likes. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not like super focusing in on all of my plushies, and there's different ways you can tell a story, and music makes all the difference in the world. The background music you use, it really matters. You can get a completely different vibe. I don't know. And I think some of the decisions by some of the cast members led to some of the infantilizing editing as well. I think they went a certain way with their... Let me explain. So they asked Connor, hey, Connor suggested playing the Cats in the Cradle, which I did quite enjoy in some respects because it meant they had to pay a licensing fee, but Connor wouldn't have earned a penny from it. But at least, you know, at least it cost Netflix a tiny bit of money that they actually had to pay to somebody for their art. Just wasn't him. I do feel like they're kind of trying to show with their editing choices that they're giving the cast some agency, and that the cast can choose things. For example, one of the cast members, I'm really sorry, I've forgotten his name. He loves his swords and stuff. And he described himself as a villain who just always comes back. And I thought that was quite funny. But it's also not the intro I would probably have run with. I'd have probably kept it as a behind the scenes funny moment. I would probably have elevated him. I actually thought it was quite good, FYI. I thought it was quite good television, but I have a gimmick in the back of my head, which might make me a very terrible editor for Netflix, which is don't infantilize the autistic people. I think normalize is better than infantilize. So I would prefer it to be more normalized. And I would prefer to say, for example, that part was so weird. It was a legitimate request, but it felt like they're making fun of it. That's kind of what I mean. I'm saying this all weird and wrong right now because it's live, and this is just... I'm just a guy on the internet. This is my thoughts. I'm just an autistic guy on the internet. But like, it's like, yes, but the way I feel about it is, I don't know if I need to make a video. I don't even know if I'm driven to. I sort of have strong feelings, but I don't know if it warrants saying my opinion on the internet, if that makes sense. Like, to a crowd. Like, hey, turn up, please watch my content, and I'm going to complain about Love on Spectrum. I'm trying to say, I could film myself for Love on the Spectrum, as an example. I could say, Mike likes computers and marine plushies, and he and nudibranchs, and it's just like, I could be portrayed in a really juvenile way quite easily, actually. Like, in quite a lot of times in my life, I've been talked down to or infantilized or whatever. It doesn't happen often, granted, and I think being male helps with that a bit. But it does happen, and it's kind of funny when it happens. It's always quite amusing to me. In fact, right now, I don't feel anything except limit your video idea list. Limits of... Oh, what do you mean, Leslie? Jessica, I do reaction content on Patreon every month. So there is definitely reaction content there. It's a bit of both. It's a bit of all of the above. I mean, hell, I even do live streams where I'm painting cats and making music. So there's a bit of everything, right? in terms of the focus of my channel, I try and make neuroaffirmative, evidence-based content. And I've done a lot of debunking content as well. In terms of reactions, I don't really think No Love on the Spectrum needs debunking. Oh, Jessica is yays. Okay, cool. Right. Thank you for that. That helps me. I don't really feel like, you know, Love on the Spectrum isn't making claims about autism that are or what I would consider to be like hygiene claims or specific claims. The bit that I find difficult with Love on the Spectrum is that you can't easily put your finger on it, and I can't say, hey, look, the reason why it's annoying me and it grates on me is the infantilization of the cast. Particularly when I don't actually believe that the cast have complained about not being paid. And then it kind of makes me feel a little bit greedy, like I'm saying, hey, they should be paid. And you know, if the cast aren't even saying that they should be paid, it's kind of like, well, who are you to say? We were happy with the deal. And I just want to kind of shake the cast and go, don't be idiots. Sometimes for a bit of fun, Mike vacuums a cat. Yeah, I know. I don't know that you could easily say, yeah. Meg and I know each other quite well, and we're both different, and that's it. Except for being vegan, liking Taylor Swift. I think that's as far as it goes. I haven't pierced my ears. Yeah. So like, Mike likes cats, starts playing infantilizing music with your cat plushie. Yeah, I will definitely take the piss out a lot, you know, and make some comments about Love on the Spectrum. I don't think it deserves a video about it. I don't know. Maybe I'll feel differently after watching season 3. I feel very strongly about infantilizing. And some of my thoughts can't be repeated. Some of my thoughts cannot be repeated. And as a parent myself, I understand that drive. I understand that motive and the instinct to kind of wrap up your sprogs and, you know, protect them, look up, you know what I mean? But like, my view has been, it still is, and always has been, you know, you kind of, mostly because of my own upbringing and stuff, right? You know, it's like, you kind of have to sort of honor who people are going to become. You kind of have to look after people. Yeah, some of it crosses over into after party thoughts. So for me, my Venn diagram of like share stuff is like, I overshare anyway, but then there are privacy concerns. And then obviously there's YouTube, and then there's kind of the Discord community, and the Discord community is obviously way better. Sorry, everyone. I'm not trying to plug it, and I appreciate that we are collectively the most underemployed demographic next to those with learning disabilities, specific learning disabilities. In other words, less employed than every physical disability group. I understand that. But I am saying that the Discord is better. I'm saying both of those two things. And I'm saying we can do a little after party, and, you know, we can, you know, it's more ephemeral. Picture Mike pierced ears and mistakenly wearing dangly earrings with feathers on the end. No, that's a terrible idea. Like, Doogie, that is a terrible idea. I don't wear earrings because of sensory reasons. Yeah, if history is, you could wear cool marine and cat earrings. That's true. That is true. That is true. That is true. I don't know what my tagline would say if I were to take part in Love on the Spectrum. I just, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, the rolled in catnip. Actually, yeah, I don't even need to roll in catnip. I can just summon them verbally. Honest to God. The cat. We've got there's a bell, a big bell, and if I ring the bell, 15 cats will arrive. Miss Pat Van Drive Lady, you're one of the lucky ones who don't feel the pressure to date, Mike. To be fair, I did do the online dating thing very briefly. It was an interesting time. Holy shit. It was about 6 months or so. Some very interesting experiences. It's wild out there, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's wild. Clip on feather earrings. Like, no, feather earrings would be terrible. It would literally be the worst thing in the universe. Like, you would not survive. You couldn't. You wouldn't. Like, anything that is like that would be an issue. Rick likes old cars, old music, and old bicycles. No, it can't be like that. It's got to be more. I don't want to use the term, but more weird. So you could say, Rick likes old cars and old bicycles. He's got a collection of tire spokes that he likes to play with on his own. He likes to touch them. We're getting into salad fingers, aren't we? What is going on?
I like rusty spoons.
Yeah. It's got to be on the verge of salad fingers. It's, you know what I mean? But you've got to be like baby fingers as opposed to salad fingers. You have to be baby fingers. Somehow you made bicycles sensual or creepy. It's got to be like, you have to be a childish, asexual, sensual, asexual. I know what I mean. Or you have to be creepy. I like rusty spokes. So Rick likes old cars and shows a big collection of Matchbox cars. He likes old wheels and rusty spokes. But it's got to be played with like a jingle music, and then a scene of you walking in and touching them. And then they have to say something like, he likes to touch them, and line, you know, like, you get it. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be like that, and not overtly weird, but just like you would never see it on another dating show. You'd never see it on another dating show where they go, "Hey, this is Rick, and he's looking for someone to share his passion for bicycles with. He wants to go on a. Things go well. He would love to go on a romantic weekend to Amsterdam, cycle the lanes or whatever. You know, poppy fields. That's Afghanistan, isn't it? But like tulips, whatever, right? Just shit like that, right? So we could do an angle like that, or we could do an angle like, you know, even better. And we are a bit late for the after party, but bear with me. I don't know if I can do this. Let me just. My nose is itchy because I've got polyfur. The reason I have polyfur is because not all of it got vacuumed. Some of it became airborne. You should never, ever, ever make the polyfur airborne. Bad. Oh my goodness me. I'm having to do flipping captures. I have to click images of fire hydrants. Sorry, everyone. All right. Am I a robot? Good. I'm human. As if robots couldn't pick out a fire hydrant. Do you know what, do you know what I'm saying? Of course they could pick out a fire hydrant if they wanted to.
I like to touch them.
Okay. Right. So let me get the levels right on this. I know it's quiet, that's fine, don't worry about it. Charlie likes lumens and drawing. Doesn't work. Next one. Charlie likes lumens and drawing. Charlie likes to play with his collection of Tosca pens. And Charlie likes tea. Would you like tea with cheese? Does anyone else want to be a victim and get perceived? Nikki hates stickiness and loud noises. Rick collects photos of fire hydrants. Jessica is looking for love, but hates the rumble of trains and big trucks. This is Chloe, and Chloe's looking for someone to share their love of dwarf shrimp. She hates mess. Maggie's never met a cat she didn't like. She also likes a good down-tempo tune. It's simply perfect. Me too. I don't know if I've not read everything.
I like rusty spoons. I like to touch them.
What a remix.
I like to touch them.
Ashley enjoys. This is Nikki, and Nikki levels are all over the place. I'm very sorry. It's probably for the best. Right, hang on a second. Let me turn this audio down. What is this? This is awful. Yates has a passion for yarn, nights and stars, but can't quite handle sunlight or frogs. TJ loves dogs and lizards and hates tags in clothing and the bourgeoisie. Whatever that is. Sorry. Let's try tea with turtles. No. Lily the Fairy. No, it's incidental music. It's got to be more like a lullaby. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be a lullaby. Actually, it's not, but it could be. I could easily rip the music. Phil likes to go to the countryside walks and collects the skulls of deceased mice he finds along the way. Snail Kitty loves singing. Hasn't worn pants in over 20 years. Only flowery dresses. Someone accused me of being bourgeoisie last week on YouTube in the comments. This'll do. TJ loves eating burgers, barbecue, and the rich. He's looking for a insert gender here to share his to share the love of his spoon collection.
I like rusty spoons.
And so does TJ.
Rusty spoons.
Yeah, we already said that.
I like to touch them.
Because there's nothing wrong with stimming. As long as you've had your tetanus shot. There's nothing wrong with stimming on the rusty spoons. Is that not a better dating show for autistics? Like if you're gonna take the piss, go all the way. Nikki's looking for an intelligent nerd to infodump with. Well, that bit's easy, Nikki. I mean, you don't need love on the spectrum for that. Got a billion of them in here. David likes to eat out of restaurants and only eats food beginning with the letter F. Make us all sound super interesting and at least slightly sinister. Yeah, exactly. I think I've made my point. I think you guys have made my point. I don't need to make my point. You guys you've made the point. It's all automatic. But like, I also feel like some of the intro sequences when they're filmed in bedrooms, which is also a bit weird. Like they should be filmed elsewhere. I don't give a fuck where. I don't care. Blank wall even. Like, you know, just do something creative with people. Don't like inspect them and shit. And also, if you notice the camera angles as well, I forgot to mention this. I really did forget to mention this, but like the camera angles of like all of the intros, I could be wrong here. Please don't be autistic about it. But like a lot of the camera angles are kind of like top down shooting down. They're not. The camera should be like an inch above the eyes, whatever, like it's a slight pitch down, okay? But like the more a camera pitches down on someone or a subject, the weaker it makes them look. And then some of the, you know, and the more a camera pitches up on a subject, the stronger that it makes that person look, okay? And a lot of the shots are done with the camera quite high, looking down. And that just makes everyone look like children. And that's how it's filmed. I don't know if any of you picked up on that, but like it really fucks me off. Like the camera angles are not done in the same way as they would be done on any other dating show. Just it's just a super hunch of mine. I'm willing to walk out on that branch without even having watched it all. It's just like that. Or they've got a cameraman that's like fucking 6.5 foot tall. But it's like it's all like it's filmed as the same way that a parent would film their child because they're naturally taller, rather than getting on their knees and shit and filming from a level which is like uncomfortable and things. Like most of your footage is of a child looking literally down at like 30 degrees, you know. Music definitely pushes it over the edge because it's an actual choice that they've, you know, like I'm sitting here clicking through tracks. Yeah. It's the directors that make the choice. It's not even the camera operator or the sound operator. It's the director does it. The director is sitting behind a screen going, that's the compositional choice. That's what we're going to do that. They went into this with a view of we're going to infantilize these people, aren't they weird disabled people? Oh my god, could you imagine? Ugh. Like, I suppose it's this concept of you know, could you imagine them like, you know, disabled sexy time? It's like weird, isn't it? Like that's how they've framed it, and it's just the framing is like not like these are people and blah blah blah, or these are people with social differences and struggle in the dating scene, or have struggled to, maybe some of them struggle with agoraphobia, for example, right? And it, like, you know, there are certain struggles here, certain differences, certain difficulties, but it's not framed like that at all. It's just literally like, do you reckon these people will have sexy time by the end of the show? It's just weird. It's the framing is fucking weird. Wasn't the one who was straightforward about sex I villainized? I have no idea. I am yet to watch season 3. I might watch an episode in a minute. Maybe join me in an after party. We could just watch an episode of season 3. I think I'm on episode 3. But it's just weird. And I'm not looking at it like the cast have done anything strange. I think the cast are naive in how they're going to be portrayed, some of them particularly. But like, you know, they're quite trusting. I feel like the cast are very trusting people. Jenny K, that's basically what it is. Oh, and I'm going to quickly say this out loud because Meg's getting name dropped quite a bit. I haven't watched any of Meg's content on Love on the Spectrum, mostly because I haven't watched any of Meg's content in many months, possibly even a year. And that's purely because I don't want to copy or plagiarize her at all. And so I've deliberately not watched any of her content. I'm less worried about other creators. And the primary reason for that is that Meg and I share a reasonable amount in common, and I think it's probably unfair. I don't feel comfortable watching Meg's content, such that not that there's anything wrong with it, but you know, I don't want it to influence my content creation. It sounds weird. I appreciate that. My view might change in the future, but right now I'm not watching any Meg's content. Said as a friend, not in any, not. There's no drama, you know. I'm happy to talk about Meg's content, but I'm just, you know, I can't watch it. I went right now. It's just my mental state where I'm at right now. Cool. No one has ever accused me of copying or anything. Like I'm not. There's nothing there. Like or vice versa, probably too, right?
Every day is a wonderful day. Who knows what we'll
I'm gonna. I'm right. I've turned that off. Where am I at? Sorry, I need to get organized. And we also trade assurance and truthfulness make the participant naive about the intent of production company. Yes. The best way to torture an autistic submissive is to tie them up and gag them and then stand there making up fake facts about the special interest. It's horrible. It's the same thing when I watch one make a video because I didn't want to accidentally copy. Interesting. I don't know why Thomas would feel that way. But yeah, I could ask him too, actually. I could, yeah, have a chat with Thomas. Yeah, maybe he feels that way, yeah. I know we've got a few things in common, so like yeah. And to be fair, there's so much on my plate right now. In terms of content, if I had like a team of like a dozen people, or like, there's still no way to exhaust it all. There's so much neurodiversity stuff to talk about, including Love on the Spectrum. But yeah, my main issue is I know that it feels like what I'm saying is, I know what it feels like from a psychological perspective that I'm saying to the cast. I'm saying to the cast, I'm an adult. I'm talking to your adult. You're stupid. You know, I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you, cast. You're all stupid. You didn't understand that, you know, you should be being paid for this. Oh, Leslie, we disagree on a couple of things. I disagree on a couple of things, but nothing like it's hard. I like exploring disagreement. I'm happy to sit with it. But anyway, what I'm trying to say with regard to Love on the Spectrum, the cast is I don't want to, you know, I don't want to make them feel bad or like, oh, you're a fucking schmuck. Is that the right term to use? You know, you've been had, ha ha ha, you've been conned. I don't want them to feel that way. Like, oh, I would have done it differently because I'm all about capitalism and therefore I know what my time is worth. Bah. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to come across like that. But they have all been taken advantage of, yeah. Yeah, they have all been taken advantage of, and that makes me sad. Because it's not just about the cast being taken advantage of, it's like autistic people being taken advantage of. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not like, hey, look, a dozen cast members got fucked over, big deal. But like, it's like, oh no, it's kind of symbolic. It's kind of symbolic. It's symbolic for trusting naivety. Yeah, so that's why it's. I think that's why I feel angry about it. That's kind of where, not that like, because I know Kaylin Partlow has said that it's helped her sell her book and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. It's like fine, it could have helped you sell your book and also paid your rent for a few years. Imagine that. Just saying. Maybe you could have paid for a hardcover, but I don't know. I'm just saying. You know what I'm trying to say. Stop being this opinion of a struggling artist. You risked your reputation on that show. They could have really done you a dirty. So cool, yes. I'm pleased you spent a bit of time working on it, Charlie. It is actually, I actually need to update my tea. Tea Fairy is asleep, so it is actually tea and sandwich time, yeah. I hope you eat something, Rory. Wrote and performed a song, listened to Jim Burke. Used to be the Gentleman Rhymer. Very cool. Is he the one that did Fighting Trousers? Even autists aren't immune to sunk cost fallacy. Yeah. True. Welcome, niece. Happy Canada Day. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Professor Elemental. Yes, thank you. I shall have to check out the other guy. Maybe they have had a rap battle at some point. I love how there is no reference that gets past this group. There is no reference or anything that doesn't, like, everyone. There's no way. Ian Goddle, like here look at. All right. Right, it is actually tea and the taxidermy. Well, might have to save that for next time. Remind me next week. I will show you Maurice. Only because I'm getting tired. Had you reminded me half an hour ago? Maurice is the only pet that I need to know about in order to show you, because Maurice is stationary. Maurice hasn't moved in over 100 years. Maurice used to be very active. Maurice is no longer mobile. Sorry, I've confused a hell of a lot of you. I appreciate that. Never mind. It'll make sense. Come back next week. Maurice is Victorian. It's phased out today at tea and taxidermy. That's amazing. That, if I forget, but that is an amazing title for a live stream. Tea and taxidermy. As Edbird, the note needs to say tea and taxidermy. I will know. I will know what tea and taxidermy means. That's so good. Doogie, that's Victorian taxidermy special interest. Oh, excellent. Yeah. I need to check the ages and stuff with Nina, get some facts together. Because I would like to say the sentence correctly, as correctly as I can. But some of it went into Saber. Saber actually attacked the taxidermy and ate some of it. Sabes. Tea and taxidermy is amazing. It literally, TJ, you say that, but like, it feels like one of these gentleman rapper types could have the very best. Could have the very best album, Tea and Taxidermy. That is actually. That is, oh, so good. I could feel it. Jessica, you have to change your YouTube display name. Doesn't need to change the handle, I think. Display name. Right. It is actually time for tea and sandwich. And sorry, I'm so slow at all of this. Let's do that. I'll see some of you in after party. Yeah. It's so difficult. Live streaming, by the way, in some respects is getting easier for me, but then also sort of partly harder because it's a weird kind of masking. Like, I don't want to leave you on this note. It's not a good note, really. It's a weird note. But like, it's similar to masking, but it's not masking. It's like, I have to think about what it is I'm saying in the same way you would in a social situation, but like, I have to process everything through YouTube community guidelines, also through third-party privacy, also through, am I sure I want to say this? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's quite tiring in that respect. After party is way easier. Also, we tend to just play games sometimes or whatever. You know, it's really hard to explain, and it's not because of you all. You know, if you're watching this and you've been present in at least a handful of live streams, some of you way more than that, and you've commented before, and I recognize your username, or you think I recognize your username, then you understand it's not you. It's me, but it isn't me. I'll see you in the after party. There will be one. Probably in 15 minutes. Isabella is, yes, you see me there. You understand. Yes. 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 And I have to sort of run it through my head a lot, what I'm saying. There are creators that don't do live streams, and I get it. It's a different discipline. Some people just do lives and they never make a video, right? That's fine, you know, too. Some people are just streamers. Like, I'm not saying Thomas Henley's one of those, but like Thomas Henley could just do streaming if he wanted to and not do videos. It's like it's a different skill set. There's a whole skill set involved. And it's weirdly draining. Like if I'm editing a video and I just want a break, I could just like leave it and just get myself a sandwich and sit down. Right. Just it's exactly like that. Yeah. And it's not just that. I'll give some of you an example in Discord. See you after party in 10 minutes. See you there. Bye. I'm gonna press this button now. That's the one. Sorry if I've like what's the word? Pavloved you. Bye. See you in a bit. See you in Scratch and Post. If not, I'll see you next week. If not, I'll see you in the next video. I like this bit. This bit's one of my favourite little vibey bits. This is where the credits come up, by the way. Can I just say, so many of you supporting me, like all of your names in the credit sequence. It blows my mind. Thank you so much. Also, just watching the videos, clicking like, subbing, it all helps. Thank you so very much. I'll see you all soon. Bye. Let's present the stream now.